All beings love their life, from the tiniest ant to the great elephant. All beings love their lives. And the more intelligent the being, the more the suffering, the more the struggle, the more ability to feel joy and to feel pain. So emotions come. The deer feels love for its fawn. The bear loves its cub. The eagle loves its mate. There are strong feelings. Even though the minds of each of these different species operate in a different way and their language is different, their whole physiology is different, still each loves their own one. They love their children, they love their spouses, they love to fly in the sky, to range in the forest. They love the life. But most creatures also accept the death. The cycle of life is immediate to them. Their minds are simple, connected to nature. They are connected to the divine flow of the natural waves of life. Human beings have the capacity to accept or reject this natural flow. There is a subtler level to the mind. Many living beings have emotion, and they also have rational thinking. The cat will figure out how to attack its prey, and it will adapt accordingly. It will calculate and figure out solutions to problems. So these characteristics are not unique to human beings. But what separates the human kingdom from the animal kingdom is the ability to self-reflect. When mind grows in magnitude, despite what the form is, when mind grows in magnitude to the level that there is self-reflection, the living being can ask, why am I here? What is my life about? This type of self-awareness that gives this sort of reflection, the Mahatattva, the sense of personal self, is more developed. And the mind has a greater capacity to analyze, to self-reflect. And this gives both the impediment of free will and choice, so that people may go against the laws of nature in the way that many other living beings do not easily do. It can happen when a creature is very wounded, or some other trauma has been so extreme that they will violate their natural tendencies and the laws that govern them. But human beings have choice. That self-reflective mind is not just figuring out problems, but it is having a sense of self, a sense of Mahatattva, a sense of personal existence that is more developed. And so human beings have the capacity to ponder their own existence, to try to understand why they are here, what they are to do. And this ability to ponder one's own existence gives rise to the pain of absorption in one's own ego self and a feeling of separation. The sense of self and other becomes very prominent. And in a human being, regardless of the form, humanity is not classified by having this particular physical form. There are other forms that humans take. Humans are those who can reflect on their own existence. They not only reason, they not only have rational mind, and emotional reactions, but they have self-reflection. So it brings about a greater sense of personal identity. I am the one in this body. I am the one doing this. I am the one figuring out. And with this comes both pride and inferiority complex. And with that, envy and greed, wanting what another has. So these qualities become, not that they are not present in other forms and other living forms. Most developed forms have these to one extent or another. A cat can become jealous. Often animals become jealous. They become desirous of power to lead the pack, and they fight to do so. So these things, these types of feelings are not limited to human beings. But the capacity to sit down and separate from these emotions and reactions and to think about, who am I? Why am I reacting this way? Do I want to be reacting this way? There is much more of this sense of self is greater in the human. And that greater sense of self, that ability to self-reflect, allows human beings to not only be more cruel and destructive than any other species, but more thoughtful, more compassionate, and more self-aware. It allows for the deep self-inquiry into your own nature. Who am I? Why am I here? This deep self-inquiry allows you to look within and in the stillness of the mind, find the deep reflection of being, of love, of unitary wholeness within you. And as you sink into this deeper sense of self, this deep self is expansive. It encompasses all living beings. In fact, all that is. The eternal, immortal self, the infinite Brahma, the Godself, is accessible through this subtle layer of mind, which can ask the question, who am I? Which can seek to know something deeper, push the mind beyond the body-mind conditioning, so that realms of infinite consciousness open up within the mind. And the universe is there. And experience comes of the unitary whole of being, that you are not separate from the stars in the sky, from the earth itself, or from other living beings, that all are composed of one nature, one deep conscious intelligence that underlies everything, that is the substance of which all the different variations of form and the entire universe is composed. When through deep self-reflection, meditation, the mind becomes suspended, then the direct experience of this omnipresent existence comes into view. And the awareness, the intelligence, the attention of the mind, of the consciousness, the conscious awareness moves beyond the thoughts in the mind. The thoughts in the minds begin to still until there is such a sense of greater presence that the mind altogether stops thinking, can't think. It is held, spellbound, in awe. This is the true definition of awe, when the mind is spellbound and cannot think, because the beauty that is seen before the eyes, the love that is seen, stuns the mind. It stuns the mind, and awe takes over. And in awe, there is just the vision, the experience, the direct experience of the infinite beatitude of love divine, of the unitary wholeness of all being, of the pure light, the bright brilliance of the source of all that is. And the mind stunned can only open in awe, and direct experience of consciousness moves to realization of the infinite nature of all that is. This experience is at the heart, the center of life. And it is the grace that when this self-reflective, self-analyzing aspect of mind is developed, mind grows in magnitude so that it can experience awe. In the Eastern tradition, this awe is called Samadhi. Samadhi is awe. It has various levels of direct experience, various levels of depth of that experience. But the experience is a totality of being that stuns the mind into not working, not thinking, not continually moving. It stills the mind, and direct experience comes into view. So there are those in many traditions who talk about direct experience. This is the direct experience when the mind is stunned, and the pure, brilliant light of 1,000 suns opens the mind in awe, stunning it. Consciousness melts into its natural state of being, and there is the direct experience of the unitary whole. The experience of self and other, of their being duality, is consumed by the light, by the brightness of this experience, by the intensity of this love, by this sense of presence that is unmistakable, an intelligence, a consciousness, an essence so powerful. The little sense of self that is related to the body mind, the Atman, dissolves into the Paramatma, into the greater realms of consciousness, into the grace of divine presence. And that divine presence stuns the mind. The mind cannot box it in. The awe comes because the mind cannot box that presence. It's too big, too vast. The mind cannot process it. So it goes into stunned mode. But your intelligent awareness, it is the very source of your intelligent awareness, not the mind. This infinite being, this infinite presence is the source of your intelligent awareness. The mind only is the vehicle you are inhabiting, which goes here and there and has so many thoughts. It runs all over the place. It's a monkey mind. And you cannot subdue the monkey mind by telling it to be quiet. It doesn't work. But when the infinite, the grace of the infinite falls upon you, then the monkey mind cannot process it. So it goes into awe. And your awareness, your attention leaves the monkey mind and flows into that which caused the monkey mind to be in awe. It flows into that infinite Godself, that infinite grace of the most loving presence, the unitary whole that abides in all forms of life and in pure light and in pure essence. And thus the stunned mind is left behind, and consciousness, attention, the self, the soul, the Atman, melts into the Paramatma, the infinite self. And when the small self melts into the infinite self, then when it returns to body awareness, you think, oh, I have had a direct experience, and you feel the bliss of that experience, through the immense bliss and love. You are changed forever. But you think, oh, it has gone away somewhere. But truly, you remain always in that state. It is forever there. Only a portion of attention moves back because the vehicle wants to be attended to. It needs a soul, a consciousness to operate the body mind. If there's no operator, the body mind dies. It requires an operator. It requires you, not your ego self that thinks that you are this body and mind, but you, the true self of you, the one who melts into the infinite one. And once you have touched that infinity, you are always there. For that place, as you get deeper and deeper into that source, it is eternal. There is no time. There is no place. There is no separate self. There is just one infinite presence, one infinite love, one infinite existence. This presence, call it God, call it the self, call it Brahma, Purusha, Parama Purusha. This infinite presence permeates you, dissolves your separateness. In the ocean of cosmic love, you are baptized into that ocean of cosmic love. And once that has happened, you are never the same, for you have known the truth. And even when the mind comes back into processing and thinking, and the awareness is again in the body-mind structure, you have lived in truth. You are in truth. It is your own nature. And when in the stillness, the body rests and the mind in deep meditation quiets in a sense of awe, of something it cannot contain and wrap around, something so vast it can only remain in awe. And the heart and spirit melt into the infinite one. This is the great power, the great destiny of human life. Whatever other activities you have, to touch the great is the sum bonum of human experience. And each and every one of you has this capacity within you. It is not for some great yogi who lives in the high Himalayan caves and meditates 18 hours a day. It is for everyone. It is your own essential nature, the nature of all living beings. All you need do is rest back into your eternal nature. Let that grace fall upon you, and let your mind open in awe to the one self, the one truth, the infinite presence of divine being. All right?